Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Angler Creek. So today we're going to be building a lumber mill off on the sort of corner of the map where we had the campgrounds, and then to the right here where the camera's facing we have the truck stop that was our first episode. So we're just clearing out a little bit of an area here so we can get a nice little industrial area in here, and then we will place a little bit of an area where you'll see that they're chopping down the trees to start creating a tree farm. So we're using the dairy house asset here. I think this fits the vibe that I was going for pretty well. I think some of the aspects of the dairy house asset might not be 100% realistic for a lumberyard, like a lot of these like tanks and stuff like that you know you wouldn't really need at a lumberyard. But I really do like the look of the building and the size of the building, and it just kind of fits the aesthetic that I was going for. And it's also going to make this area functional, so it's going to add jobs. Although we don't need a whole lot of jobs in the area, it's always good to add something functional for the city. We're also going to be adding some of these warehouse buildings, which will also add to the job count of the area. And I'm just kind of splicing them up with one a little bit farther, one a little bit closer. And I'm trying to remove any of these random props that you probably wouldn't see at a lumberyard. Some of them I can't remove, but I'm trying to remove anything that I can. Here now, I'm just going ahead and placing down the surface where this is going to be sort of the outdoor area of the lumberyard. We're going to see a lot of wooden planks sort of stacked up, and we're going to have some machinery to process maybe the logs into wooden planks, or the wooden planks into some other sort of product or material or something like that. So this is going to be sort of the main visual area of the lumberyard. I'm going to be using Control-C, a mod, but I think it's JK142 made the mod pretty extensively in here, because if I were to just have to place each one of these stacks of wood individually, it would take a very long time. But with Control-C, it's a lot easier to sort of grab a group of these and just place them down like I am right now. And so that's what I'm going to be doing throughout the whole thing. And I'm even going to grab some bigger groups later on. So I've got these like single lines here at first. And then later on, I'm going to be grouping them into even bigger groups, make it a little bit more, asymmetrical, so it's not completely uniform all the way through. Hello everyone. So we just got done building this lumberyard here, and it's looking quite nice. It's a medium-sized lumberyard. You know, obviously if we were to do to realistic standards, this lumberyard would probably be about twice as big. I looked at a lot of pictures on Google Images and on the web and stuff like that to sort of get an idea of as to what lumberyards look like and how they work and what sort of machinery you'll see around and things like that, how they're laid out. And so I feel like I got a pretty good, accurate representation of what a lumberyard looks like. Now, the actual machinery and how everything works, I'm not 100% sure about that because I'm not, you know, an expert on all of the machinery and stuff like that. They do have some assets in City Skylines that are built specifically for lumberyards. So we've got something like this here, which is industrial manufacturing decoration. It's something that pops up whenever you make like an actual lumberyard district in the a forestry district in the game. And so I just kind of spliced a couple of these together to make sort of like a little production line here. Got something here too. I'm not sure, you know, what exactly it would be doing, but it seems to be working on something, and it kind of just gives a little bit more of an industrial look to the area. We've got this big warehouse here, which really isn't doing much. It's just kind of a visual thing, and it's you know, a good warehouse to store things, to store either the lumber or the logs or machinery or, you know, whatever else that you would need to be storing whenever you have a place like this. We've got the dairy house asset, which I used as sort of like the, I guess, like main headquarters building. Like there's probably some offices in here and stuff like that. And then there's also probably, you know, a lot of like garage space and warehouse space and things like that. Now this is actually employing 85 people. Well, I guess it has the potential to employ 85 people. And then these warehouses here also have their own potential to employ, you know, 10 to 18 people or so is about what they're doing. It just depends on their level, I suppose, which they're all level 2. So I'm not sure why they all have different employment numbers, but maybe it has to do with the company that's moved in. But anyways, so we've got a decent amount of employment here, which we don't really need a whole lot more jobs. It's always good to have jobs to future-proof yourself, because I definitely plan to add more population. But right now we've got 2% unemployment, so we probably need to just have more people in here. I think a lot of companies are complaining about a lack of customers more so than people are complaining about a lack of jobs. So we definitely need to get some more apartment complexes in and try to expand the amount of people that we have in the town. You know, that's probably needs to be our major focus over the next 2 or 3 episodes. But I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an industrial thing because we haven't done a whole lot of industrial in Angler Creek. I mean, we have, you know, the rail yard over here, which is looking a little bit weird. A lot of the decals, see here, a lot of the decals got turned into parking lots and row parking upgrade 2s and things like that. So a lot of the fading and things like that I did between these textures is gone now. A lot of the things get corrupted, which I think it's getting better. There was one point like a couple months ago where pretty much this whole save was being corrupted and everything was being deleted and replaced and stuff like that. But I haven't had any issues with that recently, so I think whatever was causing that issue is gone now. So I probably should go through and try to clean up a lot of this stuff, a lot of these random, you know, asset.name row parking upgrades and kind of just redetail up the yard a little bit. But we've got this industrial area here, but ever since we made this, which this was like episode 4 maybe, we haven't done any industrial. So I kind of wanted to switch it up and make a lumberyard. I thought, you know, we've got plenty of trees around here. It's a rural setting, you know, it would probably be very fitting for the area to have a lumberyard here. So that's what I did. And we just got, you know, some machinery here that's parked outside, and I try to do some decal work and things like that to make it look a little bit more custom. For some reason, the stain decals weren't popping up on these surfaces here, but like the Real Vision decals were working, so I put the Real Vision decals on, and it looks pretty good. I like it. But that is it for the lumberyard, I suppose. I suppose I should talk about this. So the idea behind this is that it's not that they're just clear cutting the forest and then they're just gonna leave it there. The idea, I suppose, is that this lumberyard was recently developed and it was recently built. And what they're doing here is they're clear cutting this area so they can build a tree farm. So right now they're in the process of chopping down all these trees and, processing the logs and moving them to, the warehouse and then processing them into planks. Once they have this whole area cleared out, they're going to build a tree farm here. So at least that's my idea. Because I know, just clear cutting forests and just moving on and stuff probably isn't legal in 2024, or at least it's not common practice. So I'm not sure how realistic that would be, but that's sort of my idea going into it, is that they are in the process of creating a tree farm. But anyways, that is about it. That's about all I had to say about this specific lumberyard build. I'm going to go back into the time lapse and we're going to detail up some of the nature around here. We're going to detail up some of the areas of the creek and the water areas and just add some more trees and stuff like that. And then I'll be back with another live play where we can talk a little bit more about the town and where it's heading. now that we are done doing the detailing up of some of these creek sections here, I figured I wanted to do one more live play and sort of talk to you all about the status of the project, the status of Angler Creek, and sort of the future of it. And going through some of these areas, kind of reminded me, because a lot of the times I don't really go and look at Angler that much. I don't go back and look at these old areas that much. A lot of the times I'm just right here in Riverside, and I've just kind of got my nose down, and I'm just working, on little small details and stuff, and I'm really zoomed in, and I kind of forget that the rest of the map still exists, So going back, and looking at all of these old builds and stuff like that, and detailing up some of these older areas with the with some more textures and some more plants and stuff like that, which I'm really loving. Like especially how this looks right here. This sort of wetland here. Maybe the water's low right now, but you can definitely kind of tell that the water might rise up in certain seasons or something like that. Or if you have like a really wet year that rains a lot. And then you have some areas over here where maybe the water level is a little bit more normalized. It's difficult, I suppose, to ascertain, because I'm not like a super big expert on geology or geography and stuff like that, and how sort of some of these natural things happen, which I don't think geology or geography have anything to do with rivers rising and falling. You can tell that I'm very uneducated about these subjects, but I really do enjoy adding little details like this. We did like a little bit of detailing whenever we first made this bridge. We did like some cliff faces. I was really big on the boulder cliff faces, which I still am. I still like them. I think they're really nice. Like this cliff face is looking really interesting. I'm really enjoying the way this looks, especially once we added a little bit of something extra here. So I definitely really like that, but I haven't been using sort of those sort of techniques as much recently, just because I don't want to overdo it. You want things to stand out, and for things to stand out, they have to be distinct. If you use something everywhere, then it just simply becomes sort of the normal thing, right? I'm hoping that we get more boulder assets and stuff like that here soon. And then we can do even more custom stuff when it comes to creating cliffs and creating things like that. Because I really do love doing the nature detailing. I really love doing little areas like this where we've just got these nice little wetlands and rivers and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to just talk about the map in general. So we started out with the truck stop, and the truck stop was looking pretty all right. This is the first build that I ever did on the channel, and honestly one of the first detailing builds that I did in general on City Skylines. I didn't play City Skylines 1. I did watch some YouTubers. I watched like a lot of $2.20 and stuff like that over the course of City Skylines 1's lifetime, but I never really got into it because the modding seemed a little bit scary to get into. Seemed like a lot of work. But whenever City Skylines 2 launched, I was like, yeah, I want to get into it early, so I can kind of ease my way into it, and get familiar as things build with the game. And so I started playing City Skylines 2, and I did like a couple of little detailing projects, and I might have posted a couple screenshots on Reddit, stuff like that. But this is definitely one of the first builds that I did on City Skylines 2, and it kind of shows. It's really nice, don't get me wrong, I really like it, but it's a little bit more bare bones than some of the other stuff that we've created around here. And a lot of that has to do with the availability of mods at this point. So whenever we were doing the truck stop build, the mods were just starting to take off. So we were starting to get, ExtraAssetsImporter. We got some decal packs, some of the early decal packs, like solely stained decals and stuff like that. And I kind of did go back, so like these tire marks and stuff like that, they weren't originally in the build if you go watch the first episode, because those tire marks weren't even out whenever I made this build. But at one point I was just kind of like flying around here, and I was like, some tire marks would go here, and I just kind of put them down, and I wasn't recording or anything like that. But anyways, so it was kind of a product of my own inexperience, and then a product of the asset availability at the time. And then we moved on to Angler with episode 2, which Angler, I still really like the way Angler looks. It's got a very unique look and vibe to it. It's got some really interesting Main Street attraction here, you know, with the rows of trees and the custom sort of promenades here, which kind of got broken a little bit by Road Builder. So I was using, I built this before Road Builder came out, so I was using, I think it was called Mio's Custom Roads asset pack to build a road without sidewalks, and then I had to get rid of that whenever I did Road Builder. I wanted to install Road Builder, you know, I didn't want to get stuck in the past, so I had to like completely remove this street, and then I had to install Road Builder and then load it back up and then replace it with a Road Builder road, and it just kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's not anything that I can't, you know, fix entirely. There's just a little bit here that, you know, I mean, unfortunately the elevation is a little bit off, but I can fix that. I think I just need to spend a little bit of time with it. But it, you know, from afar, if you don't zoom in too much, Angular is very nice. I really enjoy it. I think it's definitely due for me to go back and do a little bit extra, fix up this road here, maybe detail up these row homes a little bit more, maybe add some of the new assets that we have with the UK pack, maybe do a little bit more with the suburbs that are sitting here off to the side, perhaps expand the footprint a little bit, maybe expand out here or expand out this way, you know. I think that we're definitely due to return back to the Angular, which is sort of the main city of the area, I suppose, or it was what I intended to be the main city whenever I first started this series. We got, you know, Concord Heights here, which I didn't name this. This is just a default name by City Skylines. It's just a suburb with a elementary school, and there's not too much going on here. You know, I just did like a single developer housing units here. You know, so they're all kind of the same assets or the same group of assets, I suppose, and just did some custom backyards like I like to do, which is very time consuming, but it's definitely you know, something that I miss if I do not do. I did like another one of these here where it's like a cookie cutter sort of a suburb here, kind of very over the hedge inspired. We did the farmlands afterwards. Well, actually, technically, after we did this, we did the rail yard. After we did the yard, I'm pretty sure we built this farm here in the middle, which kind of was where I really started to get comfortable with the detailing and really started to get kind of into the game and stuff like that. I built, you know, just this one house, just this one area, right? And I wanted to spend my time with it and make it like a whole episode and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that format. Really enjoyed the format of just doing the one build. And, you know, it looks quite nice. I still really like it. Some of this got messed up because, you know, you'll have an update will go through or something like that, and then Tree Controller will reset its settings, and then, you know, stuff will start aging up. Like, all this wasn't supposed to be this big. If you watched the episode where I built it, it was all like small grass and stuff like that. But at some point, you know, Tree Controller resets, and all of a sudden, all the bushes start aging up and getting bigger than you intended them to be. But otherwise, you know, like I said about Angular from afar, you know, if you don't look super far into it, it's still looking very nice. And then, so we've got, you know, a couple of other farms here. I won't go into too much detail, but you can kind of tell that I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with what I have to work with and what I'm building, and the asset diversity is getting a little bit better here. You know, man, who released that? Was it El Gendo that released the trash? Yeah, G87. Yeah, so it's El Gendo's trash decals. So at that point, the trash decals that came out, and I think this is also El Gendo's trash decals. And so, you know, all of a sudden the asset diversity was starting to open up a little bit by the time I was making these farms. And then I started working on Riverside whenever the Real Vision decal packs released, which, you know, completely changes the sort of width of things that you can do to make your city look more realistic, you know. So we've got these textures here for the parking lots, and we've got these textures here for, oh man, that's really loud. We got these textures here for the sides of the roads that kind of give that messed up grass look and stuff like that. And so we can make large parking lots, and we can put decals over the roads to kind of give them like a little bit more of a weathered look. And so Riverside is definitely maintaining a way different vibe than than any of the other areas, simply because the Real Vision decal packs were just that sort of, I don't know, revolutionary, I suppose, for the current climate of what sort of assets are available in City Skylines 2. And so Riverside is definitely the most updated looking town out of all of them. We've also been using the UK assets, which are brand new. So we've got the UK assets in here. I think I used, this didn't ship with the vanilla game, this small high school. I think they released this in Detailers patch 1, things like that. So, this is very much like a representation of the game in its current state, I suppose, or at least, in relation to Angler Creek. I think I always forget that I did this build because it's so far out of the way. It's like on the edge of the map. It's like super far away from Riverside. But we do have this here. Let me change the lighting. I always talk about that in my videos. You gotta mess with the lighting depending on how you're looking at something. So I've got this campground here, which I really do like this campground. It's quite nice. And it's just, it's a commercial campground. It's something you could bring your family to. You're not going to be going out here to go roughing it in the wild or something like that. This is just something that, you might want to roast some marshmallows over a campfire or something like that, and then go home in the morning. Sort of campsite. But it's quite nice. We've got a little lake here, which it looks like the water went down. Whenever I was first building this, the water was up to this level here. I think that might be because whenever I was building this, I was probably in the spring. I was probably in spring or fall, and now I'm in summer. And the water levels will go up and down based off of the season. So you gotta kind of think about that. I suppose I should have planned for that perhaps with my detailing. Maybe I can do a little bit more here, maybe get some decals in here to sort of make it a little bit nicer. But I suppose the overarching idea with this live play section is to just kind of go over what we built, because I haven't really done that since we started the series. It's kind of just like, hey, I'm building this. The build is done. Have a nice day, everyone. And I haven't really done any sort of overarching reviews of the whole area and really zoomed out in a lot of these builds. And so I really just kind of wanted to do that and see how that went. Let's see. Can I? Oh, these don't overlay. So this Real Vision decal has a higher overlay than the than Sully's one. Yeah. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on this in the live play, but I'll take a look at this. Maybe we'll fix it later. But that's pretty much it at this point. So I definitely want to expand Riverside. I want to expand Angler, and I kind of want one more town in this area. So there's this whole section over here that's kind of, there's a bend in the river, and this section, it's kind of like, it's not looking great. The water has gone up and down so much. I've fixed this highway so many times where I'll flood the highway on accident because I was messing with the water levels, and I'll fix the highway, and then the water changes again, and then I have to lower the highway, and then the water goes up again, and I have to raise the highway. So this is definitely something I need to fix. It's just been kind of like out of sight, out of mind for a little while, and it still works, don't get me wrong, but I think this is probably where I'm going to start working here soon. Is I might try to get some sort of workable land around here to do some terraforming and create another town in this area, because I would like to have one more town, and I'd like to have kind of a clean slate to work on for a town center, and make something that's really special and really unique and really different from both Angler and Riverside. So I think that this area would be perfect for an expansion like that. If you guys have any suggestions on things that we can do for Angler Creek or anything like that, I would love to hear your suggestions in the comments. I keep like a list. I keep like a notepad of everything that people tell me to do, and a lot of the times, sometimes I'll forget, but a lot of the times I do end up implementing the changes. In fact, actually, I should do this. So somebody told me, and I kind of agree, I was thinking about it whenever they were telling me that the fire station it's not realistic to have fire trucks outside here. And so I kind of want to see if there's something better we can implement in here. This is a nice little fire station. And it kind of fits the size. They're about the same size. It might be too deep, but that's okay. I think I might be able to work with that. So let's see. All right. So I'm going to do this. We're going to fix this fire station in this episode. Because I agree with them. It's not realistic to have your fire trucks outside. They're very expensive pieces of machinery, and they're very well maintained and stuff like that. And so having them outside isn't quite realistic. I'm gonna remove this, and then we gotta remove all this and all these. I like the idea of having a storage lot, and I still kind of want to do that, but it needs to be covered or something like that. Or I think perhaps we could do that in a completely different build somewhere. In Riverside, we could have like a municipal storage lot. I think that would perhaps work well. Okay, let's not do that. Let's soften it. I don't want to leave it like that. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we're working with. So this is too deep. This is way too deep. This perhaps could work. We could go back to this one and then just detail it in a different way. Community fire station. Now that kind of fits like a glove. This is from the modern architecture asset pack. Also have the urban fire station. Let's see what this looks like. Let's place it down. Can we recolor it? Hold on. Can I like interesting. I don't like it being like super clean. That actually looks kind of nice because it's got the red and then it's got the yellow. Does it fit though? I think the other one looked a little bit more like small towny. I think this one looks a little bit too modern and new, and so let's get rid of that. And we do need a fire station, so we need to be careful about this, because if a fire breaks out and we don't have a fire station in Riverside, then we're going to be in big trouble. What does this one look like? Ooh, that one kind of fits. It does. Okay, so it does look modern, right? But it's small enough that you could pass it off as like a small town fire station. I've actually seen places like this in like small towns and stuff, where they'll have like a brand new fire station, and it's got like this really contemporary, architectural style that it doesn't really follow the rest of the city or the rest of the surrounding area. But I kind of like that. So let's see. Can we back this up a bit? Let's back it up, place it like here. Get rid of this. I want to get rid of that too. There we go. Let's expand this out. I don't like how this is kind of angled in the way that it is. Can I get rid of this? And I can't remove this node. It's okay. Have it like this. Let's remove this fence here. So it doesn't need to be here anymore. Get a new fence. Why are these like, can I place it like on the road and then it won't bend? Let's see, so I don't think this section is actually part of the fire station, so we might be able to just raise this up a little bit. Like, I think it's like here. Oh yeah. We'll just do that, then we'll soften it as best as we can. It's looking pretty acceptable. Get this fence nice and situated here. Try to get that 90 degrees if we can. Well, the 90 degrees isn't really ideal. I just wanted to follow the pavement. There we go. Okay. So now we've got that. And we'll just add some parking. We'll just do some basic stuff. We'll grab some stain decals. Sort of plop them around. And do some other stain decals just to give it a little bit. And then we need some cracks in the pavement. Why not? I need some, I know there's more crack like packs out there. They're a little bit better to use. Or not better to use, but just a little bit more easier to see. These are very slight, I suppose. There's some of them that are like pretty easy to see, but then they're a little bit too distinct in their shape. And so if you repeat them too much, it's very noticeable. I think Real Vision has some cracks. Yeah, I could use these. These are pretty nice. So we'll just kind of place these around here. That looks alright. Okay. And then parking assets. Let's just, maybe we do some angled parking. Make it interesting. Why not? There we go. Nice and lined up. Okay, and then we'll do more parking here. And this is just going to be parking for the, you know, the firefighters. It's not going to be putting any fire trucks here. We'll do a smaller one. Bam. That's looking pretty nice. We're going to need some lights. Let me save my game just in case. You never know when the next crash is going to happen. We don't need something that tall. Surely there's a shorter one. Yeah. Perfect. Let's do like here, here, here. I used to be really, really particular about how I place my lights, and I still am particular about how I place my lights. Like, I don't really like how this is. I mainly just want the spacing between the lights to be the same, you know, is the main thing. So that's looking pretty good. Let's put, like, I think we can fit a couple more props in here. So I want to get is a dumpster under trash? I don't think it is. Oh yeah, it's just trash container. Let's get a couple dumpsters in here. And it's gonna be like this. Bam. We can even get like something like this. I'm not sure what they would be dumping in here, but I'm not a firefighter, you know, but you know, it looks like something that might work. We just do, we don't want to overdo it. We'll just do a couple cardboard boxes, you know. Maybe they might open up some packages, you know, and they just got some stuff stacked up there. That's totally normal. And then if we're gonna do that, then we kind of want to supplement that with this. So place like that there, and then we'll maybe have just like a little bit here. Maybe we'll just put something. Can I get a smaller one? Just like that. It's looking quite nice. And then, other than that, we don't want to dirty up the place too much. You know, places like this usually stay somewhat clean. We'll just get a couple cars in here. There we go. Hatchback 2. Maybe somebody's driving a minivan. We got a muscle car. Somebody's driving a really cool truck. Oh yeah, pickup truck would probably be a good idea. Let's get 2 of those. Maybe one over here too. Now, I don't know. We might have too many cars here. It depends on, you know, how many people are working here at one time. But I just kind of want to fill it up a little bit so it's not looking like desolate, you know. Let's see. We'll put there. That should be plenty. So we've got that. And then, no, that's too big. Let's just do, what if we do like this? We could put some here too. Maybe they got like a call that seemed really bad. Had to scurry out super quickly. Let's do like something like this, something like that, just to add a little bit more texture. I feel like that's the main thing. It's just adding layers of texture. So that's looking pretty good. Let's get some of this detailed up a little bit now. So maybe we can add, you know, some stains for the here. And I kind of want to just extend this surface area out. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to have all of these like separated. Whenever we could just have it like that. And then we could have these kind of just fill in the spots. That should be alright. Then here, we don't need too much. I guess I suppose we could replace the surface with something more, you know, custom if we wanted to. Aren't there new surfaces with like the UK pack and whatnot? We could do the concrete tiles. Hold on. Let's remove this. Concrete tiles large. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. And then final touch. Extra fence. I feel like fences are always like pound for pound some of the best detailing tools you can use. So we can just add a small waist size fence here. And there we go. Brand new fire department using one of the new custom assets, or not custom, one of the new assets from the Modern Architecture pack. Or actually this is from the Urban Promenades pack, and it's all nicely detailed up, fitting in with our build quite nicely. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer the old fire station, or do you prefer this fire station? I think I prefer this fire station, to be honest. I think this is looking quite nice, and I'm enjoying the amount of detail that's been put into it. But anyways, I think we're gonna wrap this up. This live play has gone on a little bit longer than I expected it to go. If you're still watching, I appreciate you watching the whole video, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, I would appreciate a like, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.